Most people spend their entire lives earning active income and turning that income into the income they need to sustain their lifestyle and all of that. And that's what I did too to start. I played 9 years in the NFL. I earned active income. That active income sustained my lifestyle. But the key difference and what I wanted to talk about is how I use as much of the active income as I could to start to invest and start to generate me passive income. And I want to put passive income in quotations because I feel like that's one of the hot buttons today. Does passive investing exist? What is passive investing? And I want to clarify that passive investing does not mean doing absolutely nothing. There is nothing you can invest in on this earth where it takes absolutely zero effort unless you're taking risk and you're saying, I don't care, I'm just gonna invest in this and I'm not gonna look into it at all. If you're investing intelligently, there's nothing that is 100% passive. So for me, I like to define passive. So while I was in the NFL, passive to me was working 10 hours or less a week. If I can invest in vehicles that was going to allow me to put 10 hours a week or less in, that's what I deemed passive, because within 10 hours, that's a couple of nights a week where I'm focused on some business after I get done studying film and all of that. On my off day, that's 3 or 4 hours of locked in on business, on focusing on that. I can manage 10 hours a week. Now that I'm retired, I believe passive is 20 to 40 hours depending on the week and the day. And reason why that's passive to me is I dictate the hours. Sometimes when I'm busy with my family on vacations and stuff, though that 30 hours, 40 hours a week. Some of that's put in at night. Once my family's gone to sleep, I work for a few hours getting some work done, and I'm able to clock in 3 or 4 hours then, 3 or 4 hours during the day, and say I put in 8 hours today. That's because now I'm retired and business and investing is what I do for a living now. And at times I want to put more money into it to get more money out of it, or more time into it to get more time and money out of it. So I'm going to put this time in so I can create the framework so I can invest more passively in the future. So that's what I've been building since I've been retired. But the key of the conversation is how you start to convert that active income into passive income and clarifying what passive is going to look like for you. But you get true freedom when you convert active income into passive income, and then your passive income starts to meet or exceed your active income. So now you're in a position where you don't need your day job. And that's something I chased my entire time while I was in the NFL. I was in a profession where I knew it was going to end one day. And many of you listening to this, you might not be in that profession because you feel like you can work in that same job for 20, 30, 40 years. But I want to kind of point something out to you that the reality is something or someone is coming to replace you, whether it's AI, technology, younger employees, cheaper employees, what have you. So having the mindset of, I can do this job for the next 40 years is actually putting yourself in a position for failure, because at some point, something or someone is going to try to replace you. While I was playing in the NFL, it was more obvious because on Sundays we played a game. On Mondays, they were bringing in outside linebackers, which is a position I played, to come and take my job. So I would see it. I would see them bringing in players to try to replace me. So once you see that, I'm like, man, at some point, they're going to be successful in doing so. I'm going to get older. I'm going to have injuries. Things are going to happen, and they are going to replace me for somebody faster, younger, cheaper, better, what have you. So what am I going to do to protect myself and my family moving forward? And my answer to that is to take the active income I was earning from the NFL and converting that into passive income. And I did so in a couple of different buckets. Number one is I was growing my own real estate portfolio of properties. So at some point I was up to 40 units. I'm now at 30 units and counting. And I actually plan on consolidating some of that at some point, but I'm at 30 units today. Another bucket for me was investing in syndications. I've invested in over 50 syndications over the last 10 years. I'm currently in about 40, and I can't wait till some of that money gets back actually from those syndications, so I can pump them into the third bucket, which is my private lending. So I started private lending about almost 5 years ago now, and I was lending my own capital kind of one-off to a couple of investors I know. I've since developed and started my own lending company, 42 Solutions, where I'm actually growing a lending business, and I do all my lending through there. So that is my third bucket. So it's been real estate ownership myself, syndication, so a limited partner in bigger deals, and then my private lending company. And those are the three buckets that I was investing in while I was playing in the NFL to one day replace yearly salary that I needed, not replacing my NFL income, although I hope to one day replace my NFL income, but it was replacing my lifestyle income that I needed. So now I'm in a position where I've done that. I'm exceeding, the lifestyle expenses that we have, and I'm trying to get to the point where I am making NFL money through real estate, through investing, and through my lending company. So those are the goals that I have, and I'm now in a place where I'm trying to take my passive income, which, I could classify it as 10 hours while I was in the NFL, 20 to 40 hours while I'm out of the NFL, grow that up with the time and amount of money I'm putting into it to where it is meeting or exceeding what I made while I was in the NFL. So that's how you start to convert active to passive. I think more people need to have this mindset because it puts you in a position to be successful. And even if I'm wrong, even if you can do your career for the next 50 years, it's going to be nice to reach year 25 and be like, I can quit if I want to because my passive income is exceeding my burn rate, is exceeding what I spend every month. I can quit this job. I don't need it anymore. And that was a powerful position I got in while I was in the NFL because I got to the point where I was playing in the NFL because I wanted to, not because I had to. So I was able to make decisions differently. And I actually retired from the NFL because my career started to go on a trajectory I did not like, and it wasn't worth it to me anymore. And I was missing my family and spending quality time away from my 2 young girls. If I was in a position where I had no passive income, that was not a decision I would have made. I would have tried to stretch it out another year, 2 years, 3 years, because I needed more income. Even if I wasn't happy and I was missing my kids and I was missing my wife and I was just going through it, I would have kept going because I had to, because I felt I had to. But because I was building passive income at the same time, I took myself out of that situation and I was able to look at it as like, I'm ready to lean into my passive income streams more intentionally. I do not need this anymore. And at this point in time, playing in the NFL is not worth it to me anymore. And I was able to walk away on my terms. That's something I want every single one of you guys to experience as well, because it is a powerful position to be in. So I wanted to share that with you. I hope you guys are really encouraged on how and why you should start to convert active income into passive income. Make sure you check out the next video. Can't wait to see you there.